that's the repository of our collaborative counter app. And what we would usually do right now is, if we make the change that we just discussed, we would create a new pull request in draft mode, and afterwards we would commit our changes. All of that is already done. No worries, I'm not going to bore you with that. So we already have the pull request here right now. And kindly enough, my co-founder Jens took care of it, and he wrote a comment about the change that he wanted to make. So he said that he's changing the visual appearance of the user avatar to look less like a chip. And I mean, all of us are familiar with Git tools and of the amazing Files Change tab. And that allows us as developers always to see exactly what code change did we do. And in this case, we can see Jens promised something and delivered. He changed the chip. But the question that we have now is, how does this change look visually? That is something that Git can't help us with. But it would be amazing to actually see the change here right now visually. And that's why we built Widgetbook Cloud and are well integrated in your Git providers. What I'm showing you right now works for GitHub, but it also works for all the other major Git providers. So you can also use it for GitLab, Azure DevOps, and also for Bitbucket. And you see here right now, we have a few Widgetbook checks. The first one is the Widgetbook build. That is just the hosted overview of Widgetbook. But what's more exciting is our Widgetbook review check. And this Widgetbook review check is right now pending. And it is pending because we are automatically always analyzing your pull request and are checking for visual regressions or UI changes in this pull request. And whenever we are finding a UI change, this check remains pending. And then you are not able to merge this pull request right now. You basically have to, first of all, make sure to accept all the changes. And that is how it looks like. So you see here on the left side, that's how our user avatar looked before. And on the right side, we see how it looks right now. And if you remember correctly, we said we do not only want to include our components in Widgetbook, but also entire screens. That's why we can basically check all the different areas of our app that were affected by this change. In our case, that's why our home screen was also affected by the change. So we can now also see that's how the home screen looked before, and that's how the home screen looks right now. And we always have the chance, if we are not really sure what changed right now, to use our toggle diff button to highlight for us exactly in pink what is the exact spot of our button, in this case, that was changed. And additionally, we are not only able to basically compare two screenshots with each other, like here, we are also always able to check the interactions afterwards. So we can also always immediately from our review feature jump into the latest Widgetbook build to then explore the widget in further configurations. And I mean, what we already just tested is we saw how we can use the knobs and add-ons. So in the end, what is happening here, it's a Flutter web build that you can see. And you could then see, for example, not only how my widget looks in dark mode, but also how my widget looks in light mode. And we have another feature that is called multi-snapshot reviews. So we do not only have the chance to manually checking our widgets on the different add-ons, we can automatically test it. And it is actually quite easy to configure. So we recall we had our add app annotation initially that allowed us to generate our Widgetbook in the beginning. And with this add app annotation, we then have the chance to configure theming here, or in the end, any other add-on that you'd like to automatically test. We, with our demo app, decided we want to automatically test all of our visual changes on light and dark mode. But you could also test different device sizes, different languages, different text scale factors, any add-on, basically. And let's see how that works in more detail. So here in Widgetbook, we see basically now the change in dark mode right now. Here's the exact same change in light mode. Here's it again in dark mode for the screen and in light mode. And if we, as a developer, are happy with our change and therefore know, okay, perfect, there's no unintended change that we have, what we can do is we can go to review changes, approve, and then submit the review. And it will automatically be merged again with GitHub, and therefore we are able to merge our pull request with confidence. And that is the workflow that I described if you are reviewing the change yourself. Of course, you can use it together with your team. I mean, Anton was all about collaboration and communication before, and that's why you can, of course, use Widgetbook to collaborate better among developers. So I could, for example, easily review changes of my teammates. Or I could also bring in design or also QA very early. That, if you'd like to get started with Widgetbook Cloud also, if you'd like to try it, you can do it for free. You can just sign up on our website and get started.